Music and math make you feel more of what's truly real. It's Rhyme and Reason 395.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why.
Hey there, Tony here, and I hope you're in the mood for some math today. Nah, it's not going to be math lessons. There's not going to be a test or a pop quiz or anything. And I am going to tie this in with music because the other day I was thinking about how back in my school choir days, how much I enjoyed it when we started learning about music dynamics. You know about those, right? That's the part that gives music so much more emotion and depth, when it gets louder and softer. And in this digital age, a lot of those nuances are represented by numbers. So you could say, in fact I am saying, music and math really go together like logic and emotions. Logic and emotions, that doesn't even sound like... Yep, hang on. Music and math regularly show up in my little musical producer's world. And when I dig into the editing sections of my recorded music, and I'm talking about the stuff that's already been recorded, it's in my digital audio workstation, which is known as a DAW for short, D-A-W. A lot of it comes down to numbers. It really does. For example, many of the dynamics in regular music are represented by letters, like the letter P for piano, and that means soft. In some languages it'd be piano or however you want to do that, but it looks like piano, and that's what they use for soft in dynamics. Or F, which represents forte, and that means loud. So in the digital studio, it's more a matter of numbers from 1 to 127. Generally, most DAWs use that kind of system to represent things like velocity. So, for example, somewhere around 20 to 40, let's say, that would be soft, and somewhere around 70 to 90 would be loud. And then you have all those subtle degrees of loudness or softness, and those are represented by letters in regular sheet music. You have P, P, and PPP, and you have F and FF and FFF. And so anyway, all of that comes back down to numbers in the digital world. And I love both methods, but for the sake of what I'm talking about, I'm focusing on the numbers. So, I know mezzo forte and pianissimo. I know those sound way more poetic than 83 and 27. But really all boils down to connecting listeners to music on a much more emotional level. And it connects you so much more than just singing and playing at a single volume all the way through a song. If somebody was singing, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible. That kind of gets old and annoying real fast. Anyway, previously I talked about the Pythagorean theorem, and I showed how it uses obvious numbers to calculate areas. Well, Pythagoras is also apparently the one who discovered how the intervals between musical notes always have whole number ratios. Well, they have those whole note ratios, at least if you want it to sound good, because non-whole number intervals tend to cause dissonance. Sometimes I think that's kind of cool. It can really have some nice effect. Think of it as something that rubs you the wrong way. That's kind of what dissonance in music is. The dictionary defines it like this. Lacking harmony, irregular, dissonant chords. So, like I said, kind of rubbing you the wrong way. That's what dissonance is. And, by the way, Pythagoras was apparently a numerologist, a guy who basically worshipped numbers. So, smart guy, but no wisdom. So, even dissonance and harmony are based on music and math. Intervals, whole number ratios, that's all math. And when I'm writing a song, I'm always mentally keeping track of how many beats are in the measure and how many measures in the line and the number of lines in the stanza and even how many syllables per line or measure or stanza. And when I get to a stopping point, it all adds up. See what I did there? It all adds up to complete the song. I love music, and I love math, and singing down a vocal path that might feel like it goes nowhere, but when it's done, I find I'm there. And every destination holds a chance to see how life unfolds. So give me math and music too, and I will sing a song for you. That does it for this episode of Rhyme and Reason. And as always, it's brought to you by Tony Funderburk, maker of fine words and music, merch and books, and rhymes and reasons. Don't hesitate and never delay on remembering that life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a rhyme and reason for your